Hello, Chip GT here, and in the last video we tackled the challenges with the fire button and wide body lockdown bars. In this video we are going to discuss cabinet transportation dunnage, why it's needed, and how to make and install it on your own cabinet. So without any further delay, let's coin in and push that start button. First, this video is more for cabinet builders who plan on moving or transporting a Vpin cabinet from one location to another or taking it to a show, like in my case. If you've been following my videos and building your own cabinet, you may have noticed that your cabinet is getting very, very heavy. When you go to transport your cabinet, you don't want something like a small rock or water or other cabinet hazards to ruin hours of hard work. In reality, pinball cabinets are designed in a way to allow them to collapse down and stand vertically on the backside of the main cabinet body to reduce damage to the cabinet. In the real pin community, people receive their cabinets in a box that is standing up vertically, and they give you a couple of options when you go to remove it, but one thing that is common throughout the whole thing is that on the back side of the cabinet you have this dunnage, and this dunnage is designed to help in moving it around. It lifts the cabinet up off the ground a little bit and keeps it out of those elements, keeps it rocks from damaging it, and you know, when you're moving it from outside in your garage to inside your house. And then on the back side of the dunnage, there's often these little plastic tips that lift the cabinet up just a little bit higher so that you can slide a dolly underneath of it. For most of you builders out there, you won't ever move your cabinet, and you don't really need to put dunnage on your cabinet. However, I plan on taking mine to Pincinnati, so for this reason, I'm going to make some non-traditional removable dunnage to make moving my cabinet around a little bit easier and to help protect it when I'm moving it at Pincinnati. In order to make the dunnage, I'm going to use outdoor treated scrap wood that is at least 1.5 inches thick, and I will first square it up on a table saw and rip the wood down to a 1x5 by 1x5 by 21 inches in length. Using a compound saw, I make nice 45-degree angle cuts to ease in standing the cabinet upright. Next, I'll use a belt sander to smooth it all out. Then I measure out where I want to have some recessed holes, and using a 1/2 inch Forstner bit, drill recessed holes down about 1/2 inch. And then using a 5/16 drill bit, I drill all the way through the wood. This is to accommodate the screws. My original plan for this was to have the two rails in a vertical position on the back side of the cabinet, and after like configuring and setting it up and measuring out where I wanted to have them on the back of the cabinet, I quickly realized that this really cuts off the back door, and yes, it is a traditional style for having a cabinet stand up, but it's really not going to accommodate my Vpin. So what I decided to do is use one of those rails, so like the left rail, and I rotate it down into a horizontal position, and I put that at the bottom of the cabinet. And then for the top, I went back out to the garage and cut down 2 6-inch blocks and marked out some holes, did the Forstner bits again, drilled all the way back through again, and then brought them back inside and made them for the top half. For all the mounting hardware, I ended up getting it all from Lowe's. I've got links down in the description for you, but basically these are number 12 or 1/4 inch size bolts and a lock washer, and then a washer between the lock washer and the bolt. And the original plan was to have it go down into a T-nut, a pronged T-nut that would lock it in place so I could remove it, and I ended up deciding not to do that and just went with some traditional washers and nuts on the other side, because having it in these horizontal positions makes it a little more permanent where I won't have to remove it. And then I also bought some Scotch furniture glides to put on the back of the dunnage. Alright, so we got the 3 different dunnage pieces on there, and it doesn't interfere with the door operation, so I can get in here. That's one of the reasons why instead of putting it vertical, I put it horizontal, is so I could open this door and get to it. And it doesn't interfere with anything. The other things I did while I had the cabinet open is I went ahead and I removed the two USB 3.0 plugs, and I ended up getting one that's a USB Type-C and USB 3.0, and then an HDMI and a USB 3.0. And what this will allow me to do is I'll be able to hook up my Oculus Rift here, I'll be able to hook in other devices right here, and then I've got this nice cap here to close that off. But more on that in the next video. So decided to get this nice wireless keyboard and mouse, and that will connect over Bluetooth to the computer, which frees up two of the USB ports so I could plug in some of those other plugs in the bottom. So that wraps up this video. If you learned something from this, please give me a like, please subscribe, share this out with your friends because it really does help the channel grow. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one.